All praises to Yahweh Ba'Sham Yahweh Shai, Ba'Sham Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. This is going to be a video on this YouTuber, right, that's now saying that they want to believe in the Lord, which is a good thing, right? It's a good thing for a man to turn away from wickedness and believe in the Lord. But what I'm going to be talking about is the comment board, man, because it's not as though people have not ever heard about the Bible before, right? But what you'll notice is that when certain people turn to the Lord or say a certain message, that's when people want to try and all of a sudden believe the message, man. Because it's not about the message for these people. It's about who's saying the message, right? An example, Israelites have been speaking the word of the Lord, right, for several years, man, decades, right? Speaking about us being Israelites. And people wasn't really trying to hear that much, right? Then Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, Kodak Black, right? And some Brandon T. Jackson. Just a few examples. They started talking about how we're Israelites, right? And then certain people wanted to try and get on a hype all of a sudden and be like, yeah, man, we are Israel, we are Israel, we are this, we are that, right? And was coming out the woodwork wanting to believe it, wanting to think that it's a good thing all of a sudden that we're Israelites, right? And then you obviously had people that were scoffing too. But the point is that if it was really about the message for these people, they would have been able to get the word a lot easier because there was people that they could have physically seen that are not billionaires, that are not millionaires, that are not rich, that they could have actually sat down with and spoke to about the scriptures and would have got the word told to them, man, right? But they didn't want the word from them people because those people were poor. Those people weren't rich. Those people weren't lit. Those people wasn't living a millionaire lifestyle, right? And that's the same thing that we're seeing with this guy here, which he could be. I'm not going to say he's not sincerely turning to the Lord, but we'll soon find out. But I know for starters that he's not believing in a true name. And if he did believe in the Lord according to the Hebrew Israelite doctrine, which is the true doctrine, I don't think he would say that necessarily on here because he already knows what would happen. Because he already would have saw, he's probably a Kanye West fan. He already probably saw what happened to Kanye West, right? They already know that they can't come out and say that. They can mention these Christians that made them turn and hear about the law, but the same Christian that he mentioned has had interactions with the Israelites, so he's probably saw those videos too, right? And then he's going into the blue letter and all of these things. He's reading scriptures in there, right? He was reading scripture, which is again a good thing, right? But the people that are followers of this guy, right? This guy's got like millions of people that watch this guy, right? This is one of the channels that's got a less amount of subscribers and all of that, right? But the point is that people are all of a sudden now trying to act zealous for the scriptures, WJD, if you confess me before men, like they're trying to quote scriptures and all of that now because he's trying to say he believes in the Lord, right? So really, it wasn't even necessarily about the Lord for these people, right? It's about, oh, this person's speaking about it now, so now I'm going to try and be on it. Because some of these same people leaving these comments are probably some of the same people that leave comments when this guy's doing prank videos and all of that goofy stuff that he was doing, man. They're probably some of the same people. But all of a sudden now that this guy is saying that he believes in the Lord because they're followers of this guy, right? Now they want to try and be like, oh yeah, this is good. But what about the men that are not rich that speak about the same things, man? What about them? You can't try and get gassed up because a rich man believes in the Lord. What about the poor men that would tell you about the Lord? Or you don't believe it because he's poor? Well, then guess what? You're a demon. Because if it's really about the message, let it be about the message. But if it's about, oh, I want some of this guy's money, that's why I think it's stronger coming from him now. The word's strong anyway. Ecclesiastes chapter 13 and verse 23, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. But if a poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? So when a poor guy speaks, They're looking him up and down. They're trying to look at the background of his house. They're like, shut up, man. What are you? You ain't on nothing. You need to get yourself a better job telling me anything. So I'm supposed to listen to you. I don't want your life. And that's why people believe it when this guy's saying it, because he's 22. He's only 22 years old, right? Got all these people following after his lifestyle. He's more than likely, definitely got at least 1 million for all those people that follow him. At least 1 million at 22 years old. Probably way more than that, really, right? So people be like, oh, yeah, man. It's good that he's coming to the scriptures now. It's good that he's on the scriptures now. And this guy on the right-hand side that he saw this video and was condemned, this guy came into interactions with the Hebrew Israelites, this guy David Lynn, right? And he's, if I'm not mistaken, accepted that he's an Israelite before, and he is an Israelite whether he believes he's one anyway, right? Because the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are Israelites. Just like how this goofy idiot, I Show Speed, he's an Israelite too, but he's bugged out of his mind, doing Ouija boards and all kind of goofy ass stuff, which if you don't believe me, you can look it up, right? He's did a Ouija board before, right? He did a Ouija board with that guy Aiden Rossman. And if you don't believe me, look it up. I ain't got no need to lie, right? If I'm mistaken and I made that and it was somebody else that he did it with, then Yahweh have mercy on me. But I know that this guy has did a Ouija board, and I know that I've seen that Aiden Ross guy do a Ouija board too. Just like I've seen KSI do one, and I've seen Jake Paul or Logan Paul do things that are of that kind of nature as well, man. Right? But the point on this David Lynn guy, he's came into interactions with the Hebrew Israelites, so their doctrine and the things that they've said to him has influenced his mind to a certain degree, man. Whether he wants to accept that or not. Whether he wants to accept, he's already admitted, if I'm not mistaken, that we are the Israelites, but he still tries to come with that anyone can receive salvation, man, which is not true. It's not true, man. And that's why he's got such a zeal for the words of the Bible anyway, even though his doctrine isn't necessarily teaching all the truth about certain things, right? But the reason why he's even got a zeal is because he's an Israelite, man. The people that bring out the words of the Bible the heaviest are going to be Negroes, so-called black people, African Americans, black British, all that kind of talk, man. Caribbeans, Latino people, they love the Lord, man. And Native Americans, they're all about God too. They're all about God, man. Let me go back to this. Sirach chapter 13 and verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man exalt it to the clouds, and look what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. Let me read that again. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue. They're trying to listen. Like when you watch that video of that I Show Speed getting talked to by that David Lynn guy, right? The crowd literally was silent, man, when he was talking. That guy put him on the spot and said to him, "Do you believe in the Lord?" And there was silence, man. Everyone in the street was silent, waiting to try and hear what he was going to say because they're his fans. And I'm not joking either. They was all silent, man. And then he just said some goofy stuff. He didn't know what to say. He was cut to the heart, right? He was cut to the heart, man. And if that guy is all on the internet like he is, he's definitely came across the Hebrew Israelites, man. And there's a lot of other people that have came across the Hebrew Israelites, but they don't want to speak about it publicly. And I understand that they wouldn't want to speak about it publicly, right? Because they know what can happen. They know what can happen, man. And it might not be everyone's job to speak about that to that degree. But then you have to believe it for yourself anyway. And when that charagma comes, Revelation 13, verse 16, you better not take that, man. Because that's going to be the true test whether you believe in the Lord or not. So right, chapter 13 and verse 23 again. When a rich man speaketh, every man extol it to the clouds. Every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds. But if a poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. So you don't want to be a person that, like these people on here, that all of a sudden believing and want to try and quote about things to do with God and all of that, right? Because he's talking about the Lord. Because, he's got subscribers. Oh, look at how many subscribers. Look, let's have a look. Let's have a look, man. Oh, look at how many subscribers he's got. right? Oh, look at his subscribers. Oh, look, wow, 2.92 million on one channel, 7.84 million on one channel. Oh, look at how many, look at how many views he gets. He could be doing anything he wants in the world. So if he's talking about the Lord, if he's talking about the Lord, look, man, wow, 27 million. If he's talking about the Lord, it's gotta be true, because he can just get 27 million from a funny pranks compilation. But he don't need to be believing in the Lord. But he's just lowered himself down to believe in the Lord. See, look, he's hanging around with the honeys, man. He's doing pranks. You know what I mean? So if he's meeting DeMarcus Cousins, man, he's on the NBA, on the sidelines of the NBA, courtside tickets. So if he's believing in the Lord, man, that's deep, man. But if some guy out on the street that ain't got a shape up, right? If he's talking to me about the Lord, now I ain't trying to hear what he's saying, because he's forced to do that because he ain't got nothing else to do. He didn't have no other option because he's a bum ass nigga. That's what some of you people think, man. Right? That's what some of you people think. That's how you view the people that are gonna tell you more truth and know more. Which I ain't even trying to say that guy don't know nothing, because he was bringing out scriptures when he was talking to another guy in another video that I watched. He was bringing out scriptures to explain what he thinks is going to happen for him turning to the Lord, and was saying that people are going to cast me away if I start believing in the Lord, because he understands that that's what happens, right? Because he's an Israelite. That's why he would understand that. But a lot of people only want to try and think, oh, it's deep that he's talking about the Lord, because they like, well, he's got money and he's got all these things, so he don't need to do that. And you don't want to be a person like that, man. The people that are gonna believe in the Lord for real are gonna hear the Lord's voice, no matter who's saying it. John chapter 10 and verse 27, my sheep hear my voice, I know them and they follow me. So the real sheep are gonna hear the voice, no matter who's talking it, man. They're gonna know that song. I'm gonna end the lesson there. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. Shalom.